Science and Behavioral Study program victimizing inmates and possibly other members of the population. Wong's story starts in 1979 when he was arrested in connection with the armed robbery of ozone layer of Brooklyn Disco, a crime he claims he didn't commit. Some people I was known to be affiliated with from the neighborhood were arrested and charged in connection with this incident, he said. A few days later, I heard the police were looking for me, so I went down to the 67 precinct on my own to find out what they wanted. He was put into a lineup, arrested, convicted, offered to plea bargain for 1 to 1.5, or 3 to 3.5 years. Being that I had nothing to do with the crime, I refused, and at the time I was 2.5 years into a 5-year probation for an armed robbery, which I admitted I had done when I was 15. Okay, so this guy was an angel, and no stranger to law enforcement or to the community, okay? So that even gave him more motive to be able to do something like this to this man, okay? Well, an assault in the third degree, sentenced to 7.5 to 15 years in prison. He was sent to Elmira program. My first semester, I wrote a paper, Aronson Psych 101 class, illustrating how the human senses can be imitated using computer analog devices, Wongi recalled. I received the highest grade in my paper, and I let a few correction officers read. You know, I was having problems with the facility. Transferred to Arkansas Correctional for 3 years. While there, he was involved with a dispute with a correctional officer who later was rumored to have put a prison contract out on him. Wongi was again transferred, this time ostensibly for his own on him, any discredit, any charges he might make in the future. I'm sorry, let me just see this here. Okay, his name is Brian Wongi. You can go to my website and read the whole entire story. It's a very, very long article. It's about illegal human experimentation. He is a victim of human experimentation. I'm going to mention another person's name. His name is David Larson. Okay, he's in the victim world of people associated with implants. I think that people who are interested in or that are victims should go to this website, www.freedomfightersforamerica.com, and look at David Larson's website and Brian Wongi, WRONGE's information. It is extremely critical to people who are victims and people who are not victims, okay? Because let me tell you something, folks, even if you're not a victim now, that doesn't mean you won't be one in the near future. It's very possible. This government's talking about RFID chips planted in people. They're talking about putting these RFIDs and all kinds of nano chips and stuff like that into these forced inoculations in Massachusetts, and they're talking about forced inoculations in Florida now. I don't know if they passed that law yet. I don't believe they have, but they just may. This is what they want to put in the swine flu virus shots. I mean, this is how bad it's become with our government. So if you go to these two, go to my website, www.freedomfightersforamerica.com, okay, you will see this information. Mr. Larson, okay, has researched this to the point where he had his implants removed. He tracked the implants back to the manufacturer, back to the criminals, literally. And since these people, the Alfred E. Mann Foundation, have a government contract, so everything is classified. And that's what happens to people who have discovered evidence of being implanted against their will, and even if they have physical evidence that they have been implanted and pictures of the implants and what have you. These people will stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing to thwart that. And it comes under state secrecies and, classified information, and people can't have their day in court. Not that many people can these days. So anyway, I wanted to bring this to you, ladies and gentlemen. There is so much more information about this. This is a sore subject with me, about illegally being experimented on, about being tortured by criminals, literally, using these implants and radio signals covertly to torture honest American citizens. It happens every day, and to some 24 hours, 7 days a week. We will continue this series, Take Back America, by informing people of what is going on in this country. So this series will take place very frequently, although there will be no announcement as to when the schedule. So the only way you're really going to hear it is if you monitor TalkShoe or if you go into the archives at www.freedomfightersforamerica.com, you will be able to hear the other shows. Okay, this is just the way I've done it. It's a spur of the moment show. We have other shows that take place on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. If you go to the homepage at freedomfightersforamerica.com, you will be able to see those shows listed. This is Independence, your host. I want to thank you once again for listening. This is Take Back America series, sponsored by Freedom Fighters for America Radio. I wish you all a safe day, and we will be back on the air shortly. Okay, so everyone, take care. This is Freedom Fighters for America Radio. We're signing off.